This is my tribute to Sammie, who was a client of mine, but above all, a great friend. She absolutely loved my work in Assisi and visited me almost every year for decades. Sadly, Sammie passed away 10 years ago. And in one of her last trips to Assisi, she delivered me a DVD that she made at home. I had no idea that she had done this, but I'm truly humbled by her beautifully simple and spontaneous ode to my paintings. It was straight from her heart. And so I thought that it would be nice to share this with all of you. Grazie, thank you.
I live in Willow Park, Texas, in a modest home, at least modest for Texas, and I live here with my husband, Jimmy. This is Jimmy, my husband of 56 years. We have 3 children, 3 children-in-law, we have 6 grandchildren, and 10 granddogs. We don't have cable television, we don't have an iPhone, we don't have, email, we don't have a computer. There's all these little gadgets we don't have, but I want to show you what we do have. Come in. This is my first picture by Massimo Cruciani. I bought it from his daughter Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. Look at St. Francis. He's so young, his arms are young, he's eager, and he's getting his assignment because the Lord said, Francis, rebuild my house. So that's his first encounter with the Lord. The cross is bright red. Now the one in church is pretty faded, but maybe it was that beautiful those centuries ago. Look at the face. It's white. It's white like the Tabor lights, like Mount Tabor, and just a few, very few brush strokes, and you see expression and affection. Francis is kneeling at the very edge of eternity. The cross is hanging suspended in air. This is just very, very beautiful to me. This is my first painting on glass. It is just wonderful. I bought this on the artist's birthday, and I ordered it and asked that the colors be fairly dark. I was not prepared for Francis to be in a pink robe, but Francis' family had a fabric shop and had beautiful fabrics, so okay. Then this year in Advent, we had the pink candle on the 3rd week, and we had pink vestments for the priest. And the reading says, rejoice. Again, I say rejoice. And I realized that this is a very joyful painting. Sunlight, moonlight, all the wild animals at peace and resting. Francis is more mature in this one. His arms are not as light, and he's a bit thicker. But this is just truly magnificent. Thank you, Massimo. This one is called Tuscany. 30 years ago was my first trip to Italy on a Dongana Franca tour bus. We went up the hills into Tuscany, singing and laughing, eating. We stopped at Donna Franca's house, and we danced in the gravel of her driveway, and off we went. And there were a few poppies already going. This was one of the most exciting moments of my whole life. I had to have this painting. As I continued to enjoy this wonderful picture, I realized that the poppies were kind of lonely. There aren't very many of them. So, next trip to Assisi, more poppies, lots more poppies, all over the field, dancing and pushing and singing, saying, "Oh, paint my picture, paint my picture." And they're all giggling. And now you see, the other ones are happy, and we have these wonderful poppies, which happens to be Massimo's main painting, his poppies, for which he's famous. Thank you. And now the buildings, for which he is also world famous. Now, buildings are not alive, so you have to look on the other side of your brain. You look at the fantastic precision, the shading, the art. This just shows such giftedness. It hangs in our hallway. We pass it every morning going for coffee. And it's supposed to remind us to keep our things in order, in alignment, so they will be beautiful. I imagine that I can see St. Clair's Church in there. At least I pretend it. This one just, it's just such skill, and it has inspiration. Just, they're all special. Thank you. A couple of years ago, I had a mental, emotional drop. I experienced a lot of sadness and a lot of grief. I went to Assisi and stayed with the sisters at St. Anthony to help me heal. I bought this picture. Look at the dark, heavy, narrow archway. You can just figure inside there's kind of darkness and gloom. And then I see Francis. He got on a magic carpet. He went gliding through the narrow opening, tumbled down to his knees, and began to praise the Lord. Now look at the touch of the two birds on his arm, on his hand. And he's young again. This is the Francis from the Sandiamo picture. And eager and out in the air. And this one is so precious to me, and it is my favorite. Just this October, we were in Assisi again. And of course, I had to go to the studio to find another painting. Now this one, Francis has already tamed the wolf. He's sitting perfectly quiet and peaceful. And of course, Francis is praising the Lord. But there's darkness in the sky. And I looked at that and I thought, Francis has completed his work. The wolf is tame. It's getting dark. Is Francis about to die? Has he done all the work that was his to do? But then I looked at that orange robe. He looks like a popsicle. When I was a little girl and we celebrated, we would go down to the drugstore and I could get a frozen treat on a stick. Orange was my favorite. It was a celebration. Francis is ready for a new assignment, and he is celebrating. Maybe I'm going to have a new assignment. Mother Teresa said she had a vocation within her vocation. So maybe I have something within my something. I'll keep you posted and let you know. Thanks. I don't know if Mr. Cruciani's paintings are fine or even good. I only know they lift my spirit and speak to my soul. And I want more and more of them to surround myself with their beauty. Jesus said, "You must be like children." Massimo is charmingly childlike. He's open, loving, playful, a joy. I consider a blessing to have known him, to own his paintings, and to eat pizza with him. Salute!